First cut in the new shop on Fancy Pants Miter Saw Station 3.0 or something like that. I'm just kidding. This is what I got. I don't have my last miter saw anymore. It went with the miter saw station to Zach and Jason at Back 40 Customs, but I had this one as a backup. So backup is going to be primary until we figure something else out. Oh, the smell of sawdust. It just got quiet, you know, like eerily quiet, like, uh-oh, somebody's up to something, right? Looking around for the dogs, and I'm like, where'd they go? They're probably in some mischief somewhere. So I start looking around the shop, around the tree line, thinking, where'd these pups run off to? They get free roam, do whatever you want to do. It's a pup. And normally we hear them grumbling, playing and whatnot, and I'm thinking, where did they go? Finally come back in here, and they put themselves to sleep. With a stick over your head, bud? I think this is going to work out quite well. Just 3 screws through the front on this wide face of each one of the boards holds it rather well. Just for stability's sake, I put the box right next to the middle screw. And also, if I bend my elbow, like that's the perfect height for my elbow for plugging something in. Yeah, I think that's going to work out quite well. Also, the hole, I'm not entirely sure if I'm coming from the bottom up, or if I'm going to drill bottom up or top down, but there's plenty of space in there to conceal the wire behind here. So this is going to be all things considered, it's going to be a really clean install for the majority of the electrical in this shop. I think so anyway, except for where the I-beams are. I'm going to have to come out and around the I-beam and figure out how to hide that. If I decide to hide it, I don't know, but I'm definitely not going to cut that I-beam to go through it. No way, Jose. Moving along. Now, somebody help me find my drill bit, because I used it over there and I put it over there. A couple miles that way, they're putting a new bridge in way off out in off the beaten path, and you can hear the pile driver a couple miles away. Boom, 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 boom. It's crazy how sound travels when there's very little vegetation in the way. You know, when wintertime hit and all the leaves started to go down and we're just left with, you know, brown hardwood trees, and, you know, the pines don't really change much, but they're more vertical as far as their sound disruption. It's crazy how much more we can hear society. Now, speaking of society, on the other side, I doubt the microphone's going to pick that up, but there's a train running through there. Yeah, there's a train track that runs through New Albany, and we can hear it from where we live a few miles out of the way as well. Train over there, plane over there, pile driver over there, puppies being puppies over here, constantly just playing, roughhousing. What do you think life is? Just one big game, and we're allowed to have fun 24/7? I agree. Good job, pups. we're jumping ahead. It is the next day. It's actually, the sun is about to set on the next day. I finished up everything else off camera because yesterday the sun started to set, lost all light in here, and recording without a lot of light in here just looks horrible. That's all there is to it. This whole wall is done. This right here is the 50-yard line, right? Everything from here to the breaker panel over there is all one circuit of 12 gauge wire for 3 15 amp receptacles. That should be fine. Once we pass this, we're more than 50 feet, and I need to run something that pulls basically the maximum for the circuit, 15 amps at startup, and that is my air compressor, but it's going to be on the farthest part of the run. So this is a 60-foot long building, and we're talking probably 70 feet when it's all said and done, when you can take into consideration the vertical up and down. So 70 feet pulling 15 amps. That whole circuit is 10 gauge wire. Now it's 10 gauge all the way to the final receptacle, but these receptacles over here, this one, and on this window right here, just to save a little bit of money, not much at all, I went with 12 gauge up. So 12 gauge pigtail to a 10 gauge supply should be just fine. Just cheaped out a little bit right then and there. But this whole wall is done, and I can finally hook up the air compressor. I haven't even plugged it in yet. And I'm curious how loud it's going to be in this space. This is one of those things that has a flexible position as far as where I want it to be. If it's too loud in here, I'm just going to set it outside in the lean-to. And then it'll be too loud while I'm outside and be like, oh, put that thing back inside the shop with all the noisy stuff. Let's see what happens. It's not insanely loud, but that's not a quiet one at all. I've got compressed air now. You know how many times I've filled my tractor tire, a big tractor tire, with the $15 Harbor Freight plug in the 12-volt outlet in your car air compressor. That takes forever to get that big tractor tire to 20 psi. That's not bad. I mean, it's clearly not quiet, but it's by no means obnoxious. And that's a win in my book. What'd you do?
Can you see where I found it?
Yeah, let's go look. She has had this bow forever, for many years. And hey, let me turn the air compressor off and I'll be right there, okay?
Okay.
So she's had that bow for quite a while and really enjoys shooting her arrows. Well, she lost her arrows during the move. I have no idea where they went. But I got a bow and arrow. Well, I got a bow and a set of arrows for Christmas. And she's been using my arrows. Where'd you shoot? Did you really do that? Oh, all right. Well, hey, listen. There's no witnesses, so I'll trust you. But it's even more impressive if you can do it with other people watching. What do you think of that?
Could you watch me?
I'll absolutely watch you. Absolutely. Remember the correct way to pull it out.
What if I cut my finger?
What if you cut your finger? Well, then you will be if you cut your finger pulling out a smooth arrow shaft, well, something crazy happened. You're not going to cut your finger pulling out an arrow. Just take your time and do it properly, right? If it's worth doing, it's worth doing properly. See?
Just saying.
Just saying, yeah. Remember, hold on. Where are we firing from? Oh, were you that close when you got the black part?
I was like about right here.
Right there? Okay. Well,
It's a bit easy.
it's a bit easy. Can you hit the target from there?
I think let's go there.
That's a big arrow for that bow. We got to work on a little bit of control there, but hey, you hit the target, okay?
It was.
Yeah.
Actually,
You can set your bow down. Hey, remember though, we want to grab the arrow close to where it's inside the target. So we don't bend it and break it, okay?
I'm going to start to shoot from here.
That was better. That was better.